Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see what are the various methods that can be used to bring better developmental gains for children with special needs or developmental problems. Parents are taking their children for various therapies and they are putting so much of effort into therapies aiming at development in their children. But there are a lot of problems faced by them and they don't see the expected change or expected gain or development in their children for various reasons. So, now what are the problems that are faced while receiving these therapies? So, if you see, there are different therapies that are needed for children with special needs, example, speech therapy, occupational therapy, psychologist intervention, behavior therapy, special education. So, there are so many things that are needed for these children. But we will rarely see all these services provided in the same environment or under the same roof. So that parents need to take their children to each area for each therapy. So this is a big problem, major problem for most of the parents, and it is very difficult to take the child from one place to another place, and so much of time and energy is spent in traveling, and children also become very tired at the end of traveling and they don't cooperate so much for the therapy sessions. And of course, high expense is also spent on these therapies, and this makes it more stressful for the parents if they don't see expected outcome or if they see less outcome or development in their children after doing all these therapies and after spending so much of time and money. And this causes not only increased stress, but they find no fulfillment in this journey of helping their children to develop. So, what are the general expectations? Generally, anybody would expect increased outcome or better results from less input, that is, less time and less money. And also, parents would expect to receive development for their children from whatever resources available in their locality. They want best result for their children. And of course, they would love to have fulfilling experience and pleasurable experience. Not only the parents need fulfilling experience, and the children also need to have a pleasurable experience when they are going for all these therapies. So we need to just quickly know about what exactly is development, because only then we will be able to understand the concept of therapy and we will be able to change some of our ideas. So, what is development? As we know the child develops from one stage to another stage. If you see, the child develops head control by around 3 months, and then the child starts sitting up by around 7 to 8 months, and then the child starts walking by 1 year. Where does this development happen, or how does this development happen? For any child, the development happens in the natural home environment. Nobody takes the children to a place where they provide 1 hour of session to improve their development. It happens at home in the natural environment. And development happens in the daily routine. It does not happen in one particular hour of the day. It happens from the time the child gets up from sleep till the child goes to sleep again. So, development happens during the awake period of each child. And if you see, it happens during their bath time, it happens during their eating time or dressing time, during their play time. So, it happens at all moment. And with what or how does it develop? Development also happens at home with the available things at home. Whatever things are available at home, the child manipulates or explores those things, the child plays with those things, and thereby the development happens naturally. Nobody is providing special items to the child at home that you generally see in the therapy areas. So the child at home starts learning by playing with whatever things that is available to them, like for example a cardboard box, a plastic chair, or a cup and a spoon. So with these things only the child develops. If you think of how a child develops at home, you will be able to understand these facts. And Most important thing is the people available around. No therapist or no qualified professional comes home to be with the child for 1 hour so that the child can develop. But development happens with people who are around the child at home, especially the family members, the mother, father, siblings, and the extended family members and their peer group. So now we can understand at what context this development takes place, against what background this development takes place. So we have to keep in mind when there is a child who has developmental problems. So we need to provide the same environment for the child to develop. So how do we provide such development for children who have needs? By providing a nurturing environment. The environment should be active always, should be with a lot of people around and with many things, common things that are available to the children. And the family may need to do little bit of adjustments in their lifestyles or in their routine so that it will suit or it will improve their development. And sometimes they may need to do some modification in the environment and they have to just put certain things in order. So if these things are done, then the environment becomes nurturing for the child where the development can take place. So some parents are struggling to bring in development for their children, so they run from one therapy center to another therapy center. They invite qualified professionals to come home and train, and they spend too much of their time and money on different things, but they don't get that much of outcome after doing all these things. So my suggestion is, if small adjustments and little modifications are done, it can do a great miracle in the child's development. So we will be looking in detail what are these adjustments or what are these modification or how this nurturing environment can be provided in the upcoming videos. Does it mean that children with special needs or developmental problems need not go for therapy or need not consult professionals? Absolutely no. They need to go for therapies and they have to consult professionals for various needs. Any child with developmental problems needs to consult a developmental pediatrician. Sometimes the general pediatricians may not be able to give all the solutions or suggestions needed for them, so it is better to meet or consult developmental pediatricians who are specially skilled in this particular field. And children need speech therapy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, psychologist assessment and intervention, behavior therapy, and special education according to their needs. So not all children need to go through all these therapies, but according to their developmental problems, they need to go to any of these professionals or two or more professionals. What I'm trying to say is, just by going for therapies will not bring so much of gains or development, but changing or modifying the home environment is absolutely necessary for the children's development. We will continue to speak on this topic in the upcoming videos. For any queries and consultations, you can email at the following mail ID, that is childcareguidance@gmail.com.